Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sheep Get Sheared Podcast, home of people, politics, and popular culture. I'm your host, Austin Creed. I want to welcome you to the show. So, I want to discuss a truth with you that I've discovered through the process of reinventing myself and on this journey of becoming the best version of myself. And that is something that I discovered when I was on So for those of you who've never heard this story, I've told it multiple times, but I will tell it again. I was in the Air Force for about 2 years. And during that time, I almost took my own life, and I ended up in a mental hospital for about 28 days. And that was when I hit rock bottom in my life. I had no encouragement, no idea what to do with my life. I thought my life was over. And it was only realizing that I had everything in front of me, because for the first time, I had nowhere else to go but into my own psyche. And it was doing that made me realize that the only person that mattered in my life wasn't just me. Because when I found myself on the brink of despair, I discovered that it was making people happy that I wanted to do. But I was trying to make the people happy in my life that weren't on my team, that didn't care about me. I would go out of my way to please people who didn't care about me whatsoever. And in doing that, I realized that I had to take a step forward in a new direction, turn over a new leaf, as it were. And it was only through doing that I changed my life. And it was that first step in the new direction that changed my life forever. So I'm here to assert to you today that one more step could make you free, can give you a life that you could never have imagined. But you can't do it if you're living in fear. You can't do it if you're living in a state of scarcity, unhappiness. You're not going to get there. You're only going to be upset, disappointed, and unhappy. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to live in that kind of world. Now, admittedly, again, this is not going to be easy. This will not be easy. In fact, for me, it's been the hardest thing I've ever done. I wake up every day asking myself, what can I do to improve today? How can I help share with other people so that they can also work hard? Because make no mistake about it, it's not easy. Nothing is worth doing is ever easy. But let me tell you something. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And it is only through taking that step that you can change your life. Because you could easily just stay at the crossroads and do nothing. I'll tell you a little story. When I first got out of high school, I had no idea what the hell I wanted to do. Nothing. Zero. Everybody would be like, oh, Austin, what do you want to do now that you have the whole world in front of you? What do you want to do? I would sit there and say, well, I don't know. I really had no idea what I wanted to do. And so what I would then say is, I'll just go do this. Or I'll go to college, I guess. I don't really have anything else to do, I suppose. So I did that. Didn't like it very much. Then I moved back in with my parents. And I felt like a complete loser. So I then worked for about a year, felt like a complete loser and a fraud, hated my life, saw my friends winning. And I was happy for them that they were winning, but I thought to myself, damn, I'm straight losing out here. This is disgusting. I felt sick. I felt like I was a complete loser and a fraud, like I said. So what did I do? I said, you know what? I'm going to throw myself in the deep end. I'm sick of sitting here not doing jack shit. I'm just going to throw myself into something. So I threw myself into the U.S. military. And it was the best decision I ever made because it changed my life. It gave me the wake-up call that I needed. Now, it was extremely painful. Very painful. Basic training changed me forever because it broke my weakness and molded it into something stronger than it was before. There's a line, like, I'm not a huge Star Wars guy. I think Star Wars is interesting. I think the newer Disney version of Star Wars is probably one of the worst storylines I've ever seen in my life. But the original ones are very interesting to me. And one of my favorite lines that Vader has is when he's talking, it's in one of the more recent shows, where he talks about how Anakin Skywalker was weak and he destroyed him. I might be sociopathic. You can say whatever you want about me, but I relate to that. I relate to, I destroyed the weaker version of myself because he was inferior. I didn't like him. He was weak, needed the correction, and he got broken and reforged into someone who was better. That's why I'm very big on not letting other people give you titles, put labels on you that you don't want. If you don't like the way that someone labels you or whatever, you can change that. You can change that shit. You really think that someone else has the right to label you? I mean, who the hell do they think they are? At the end of the day, it's only you who would take that step forward and say, hey, you know what? No, that's not who I am. You don't get to define who I am. I do. And that takes strength. That takes resolve. Most people don't have that resolve. They want to sit there and be like, oh, okay, well, I guess I can be like that if that's what you want me to. Man, fuck that shit. You need to come out here and say, you know what? No, that's not who I am. In fact, not only is that not who I am, let me tell you who I am. That's what you should do. Don't just sit there and say, I'm not this. Say, I'm not this, but I'm that. I'm not a loser. I'm a winner. I'm not a drifter. I have purpose. These are the things you need to tell yourself, because if you don't, someone else will tell you what you are. And if they tell you for long enough and you don't replace that with the truth, that is what you will begin to believe. Trust me on that. If you don't put something in the void, someone else will do it for you, and they'll be more than happy to rob you of what you could have been with what their limited version of you is. And that is why I'm telling you right now that one step could make you a free man, make you a free woman. And it's you who has to take that step. Because someone else might lead you off a cliff. Or even if they lead you in the better direction, it's not the best direction, because only you know yourself the best. People will only see what you show them. And even if they know you really well, the only person who can truly know you is the person who resides between your eyes, between your two eyes, between your ears. It's the only person that can really tell you who you are. And that's why I firmly believe that one more step can make you free. But the only person that can take that step is you. Now, trust me, other people will guide you down other paths if you are not willing to take that step yourself. But you want to learn to run, but you're not even walking on your own yet. But that's okay, because everyone has to start somewhere. Everyone starts somewhere. Nobody starts at the finish line. Even if they have every possible advantage, they can still fail. Just look at how many rich people's kids are drug addicts, delinquents, lowlifes, you name it. And there are people who grow up in the mud and they make it all the way to the Hamptons. I mean, riddle me that one. It all goes back to you need to take the step forward. The final step you ever make could be the first one on this new path that you want for yourself. Now, you could start with baby steps. I didn't get down the path I'm going on just in that one moment alone. You could start down one path and end up at a totally different path, but you need to be able to tell yourself, I am not going to accept anything that I don't want. Now, look, I understand that when I talk in this self-improvement, motivational way, it could be easy for you to say, Austin, this is hyperbole. This is you just talking out of, your butt. This isn't true. How is this livable? Well, at the end of the day, I can't give you a direct plan for your life because likely I don't know you. Now, if that's something you would like help with, you're more than welcome to hit me up on Twitter and tell me about your life, and I can see how I can help you if that's what you want. But at the end of the day, you're getting in the way of your own happiness. Of course, other people are going to be in your way. That's a given. In fact, that's their job, is to be in your way. Frankly, that's other people's jobs to be in your way. You really think that other people are just going to help you out of the goodness of their hearts? I mean, there are people who will help you out while helping themselves out. There's nothing wrong with that. But just realize that no one's just going to help you out and hurt themselves on the back end. That just doesn't happen that way. That just doesn't happen. And I don't blame them for that. No one should do that. Nothing is ever free. That's why this whole notion of getting things for free, when I see it on Twitter, I see politicians talk about free. There's no such thing as free. Someone's paying for it. And if it's a taxpayer thing and you pay taxes, you're paying, sir. You're paying, ma'am. What kind of garbage is this? You think you're not paying for it, schmuck? You're paying for it every April. What do you think tax season is for? What do you think those numbers are they pull out of your paycheck if you work a W-2 job? I mean, come on, bro. What is this, amateur hour? What the hell is going on here? This is ridiculous. But again, this goes back to, if you're W-2, there's nothing inherently wrong with that if you actually like what it is you're doing. Too many people hate their life. They hate what they're doing. But then when you ask them, oh, okay, so you don't like your job, well, what is it you want to do instead? They'll just give you crickets, nothing, zero. They have no idea. Or they might have an idea and say, well, I don't know how I'd make money off of this. You can make money off of beekeeping. You can make money off of flower arrangements. You can make money off of cupcakes. You can make money off any damn thing in this modern economy. What, are you kidding me? Now, admittedly, the celebrities are getting more and more into the content creation game. So if you want to get into the content creation game, which I would highly recommend it, your window is closing if you're not a celebrity or a pseudo-celebrity. So keep that in mind. But it all comes down to a sense of urgency. Let me tell you something. I am never giving up. I have decided what I want to do. And in fact, I can't go back to having a normie job ever again. I can't. First of all, the human resources hippos are probably going to find out who I am, look up what I did in the past, and they're going to be like, you said this on this day, on this podcast episode, you said this, and this is offensive, so we're firing you, we're not hiring you, whatever. So just be aware of that. If you're going to make content kind of like mine that could offend people, well, then you're probably going to have a hard time finding a 9-to-5 job. It's in the corporate American world, but that's okay. That's totally fine. You got to pay the price, pay the cost to be the boss, as they say. And at the end of the day, if you want to be a normie, that's fine. If you want to just use this information on a low for a side hustle, you're more than welcome to do that. But it all comes down to taking that first step. It all comes down to taking that step in believing in yourself, for God's sakes. You don't believe in yourself, do you? No, I don't blame you. I didn't either. In fact, when I first thought about doing this show, I would told all my friends that I was going to start doing my own podcast and to help people understand the complexities of the world, as I've asked questions my whole life and I continue to ask every single day. And then they were like, oh, that's great. And then I didn't do it initially because I was scared. I said, dude, who's going to want to listen to me talk about the problems of the world, my problems, try to talk about other people's problems so they can live a better life? I mean, who wants to listen to that? How do I know I'm qualified for that? That's what I said to myself. And it took me realizing, wait a minute, I don't need to be qualified. I just need to be honest. I just need to be honest. I mean, how many people do you see in the media that you think, oh, maybe that information is credible, but is this person credible? Do I even like this person? Do they even know what they're talking about? How do I know that I'm making this crap up? You ever ask yourself that question? I do. And I said to myself, I'm not a liar. I have no reason to lie to people. If I want to watch liars, I can go on CNN, MSNBC, ABC, and all the alphabet channels, in my opinion, because guess what? That's why I think about them. They're fake news in my estimation for the most part. Or they're exaggerated or anything else. So at the end of the day, I said to myself, I'm not a liar. I enjoy being honest with people. In fact, a lot of people don't like that I'm so honest about stuff. They're like, dang, that was harsh. You could add a little sugar or salt on that. And I said, no, excess sugar gives you diabetes and too much salt gives you hypertension. And I don't need any of that. But it was that simple for me. But is it that simple for you? Is that why you're not pursuing your dreams? Are you afraid of what other people might think about you? Are you afraid that other people might judge you, look down on you? You don't need to go and tell everybody what you're doing all the time. You don't. Be silent and build the empire on the little, like the consent said. You can do that if you want. But you need to take that first step. That first step could set you free and help you live a life that you've always wanted. But only you have the power to take that step. Someone else can't do it for you. You could have all the support in the world, but if you're not going to go out there and take that step forward, it's like, you ever met those people who go on diets, but before they actually go on a diet, they're like, so I'm going to start my diet on Sunday, but before that, I'm going to eat whatever I want, and then I'm going to go on Facebook on Saturday, and I want to post a big thing about how I'm going to lose weight. And then after the first week, I want to post how much weight I've lost. Man, fuck all that shit. What? That's just stupid. First of all, please don't ever be that person. You look stupid. First of all, so many people just either put you on silent or block you. But more than that, don't do things for attention. Do it because you actually want to do it. I don't need to post pictures of me going in the gym. I might one day for people, but I want to have a decent enough physique to prove that what I do works before I just regurgitate some other crap that someone else has done or give you bad information. I don't want to do that. Why would anybody want to do that? I'm not here for a quick buck. If I was, I'd be lying to you about how great relationships are and how no one lies about anything and how I'm better than everybody. I mean, at the end of the day, what's the difference, right? Everybody does that shit. I'm not here to lie, again. Speaking of honesty for a second, apparently, statistically speaking, people who swear are more honest than people who don't. I don't know if that's true, but I heard that recently. I thought that was funny. Reminds me of my old military days when everybody would be swearing all the time versus those really polite people who talk really nice about you and then give you the Brutus stab in the back treatment. A2 Brute treatment. But, my friends, all this is to say, I took that first step and I love my life now. The question is, what are you going to do? What is your first step that could change your life and set you free? What is that step for you? Because if you don't know, that's where you should start. But if you do know, then don't hold yourself back anymore. Look about how much you have to gain. I want you to win, but you need to want to win just as badly, if not more. And only you can do that. My friends, if you have any questions related to how I took my first step, what my first step looked like, all that good stuff, don't be afraid to ask me on Twitter. You can DM me, my DMs are open. Let's go to @Sheep Get Sheared. Austin Creed, you'll find me up. Hit me up in the DMs. Ask me questions if you have them. I'm more than happy to answer them. My friends, I hope this motivates you, and I really hope that you take this opportunity to better your life, because it changed mine, this information I gave you today. I really hope that it does the same for you. Hopefully you don't have to go through such hard times that I did. Hopefully you can learn from my mistakes instead of having to learn through your own. My friends, God bless you. God bless your families, and God bless America. Have a great day. I'm out. I might do something special for Christmas. I'll let you guys know what I decided to do. But until then, my friends, I really care about you. I want you to win out here. Stop getting down on yourself. Don't doubt yourself. You'll have plenty of doubters, haters, naysayers along the way. Don't let them do that work for you. My friends, Take care of yourselves. I'm out. Peace.